Hello, the game has started. It's my opponent to go first. I've got quite a good rack. This looks close to a bingo. I can't see a 7, but I have a few floaters to consider. So what about Roomlier? I don't think it's good, but with Void Challenge I can check. And it's not. So what about the P? Not seeing anything there. Or with the E, or with the X. There could be something here. This is quite a nice set of tiles. Lumia, not good. So I can't see anything. My M can go above the E. My O can go above the X. Although that does set up quite a nice spot immediately above it. But if I play Moo, I'm not opening access to the triple word square in the middle. I do have an I and an R for column 12. And the rack lever as a whole is okay. I'm going with this. Not great. The V and the Z not bingo-y. But it's still a balanced rack. I have Vezir, which plays in column 12. My V can go above Ox. I have the over prefix. I've got the IZE ending, so through an A, I think I would have valorize. So, well, I'm expecting this to be taken. It's pretty much the only hotspot on the board. But if it's not taken, what do I have? Well, I have Lev. I have Visor. Yeah, it's taken, and it's been taken well in the sense that it's not created anything new for me. However, the Vezir spot remains available for 42. And it's good to see the back of the V and the Z. So Vezir for 42. No duplicates and balanced, but no bingo here, too many high scoring tiles. I've got Chav on my rack. And the board as a whole is quite blocked, the V of Vezir not allowing any parallel plays. And the play across from the R to the triple word square, not particularly valuable. So what about row E? It's just my F, which can go above the O. So I've got Shadow in that spot. Keeping LV, not great. I can't see anything down column 8, ending in the F. Great, just 13 points for my opponent, that's good. Nothing goes in front of 9. My shadow play can now play beginning at D1. But is there a way of playing off the V? My D can go in front of EF. So a play beginning perhaps with the D, ending O or A. Not seeing anything. Can't see anywhere to play Chav. I could play Chiv. Keeping load. Let me see what Shadow scores. Obviously this is quite open. 30 points, keeping VL. 20 points, 10 fewer points, but it's a better rack leave, and it's providing very little for my opponent. I'm inclined to prefer Chiv. Can I do anything better? What about Havoc in that spot? Okay, well, Havoc doesn't play. I've got havoc on my rack. Nowhere for it. So I'm going back to Chiv. Slightly vulnerable to a draw of vowels, as I'm keeping an equal number, but Chiv for 20. Okay, still a balanced rack and still not a bingo. I've got the LY ending, but the F scuppers the bingo prospects. But this is not a particularly bingo friendly board, so even if I had a bingo, there's no guarantee it would play. And wow, look at the scores, just 4 points between us. Very tight game. The first bingo could be significant. I don't have anything apart from the D to go in front of EF. Vezir continuing to hamper any plays in the top right. Chiv takes an E at the end, but a play in row G is likely to open access to the triple word square in row H, as well as providing floaters. I guess row C is looking the best spot in terms of scoring well and not providing masses for your opponent. Nothing goes before or after Hawks. So what do I have in row C? Can I get my Y doubled? Well, I'm not seeing anything. I'm not seeing anything at all in row C, which is a shame. It looks like the C goes quite well with this rack. I guess it just doesn't go well with the C in this location and hitting the double word square. And I'm not seeing anything great in row G in terms of putting an E on the end of Chiv. So do I have anything across from the R? I'm looking for plays which burn the F, the Y, or both. Not seeing anything. Great, just 17 points for my opponent. That's not very many. And he's provided a spot where I can play Foy, which I think gives me the best rack lead and scores 26 points and offers very little for my opponent. He could have the J, but that's about the worst that can happen. Am I missing a good play in row C? Well, even if I am, I don't think it's going to score massively more than 26, and it's likely to have an inferior rack leave, so I'm going with Foy. Still not really close to a bingo. Both blanks out there, and just 13 points between us, so a really close game. I guess row B is quite hot for a 5-letter play. Even without the J, anything which goes on that spot and gets doubled is likely to score 40-odd points. So can I play there just my D going above Ob? Well, the L as well. So Lord, if Lord is good. Maybe Foy wasn't such a great play. That is a really hot 5-letter lane. And it would be a shame for my opponent to establish a lead without bingoing. So I'm not seeing anything great. Just Lord, which may not be good. Do I have anything in row C? Well, I have Palace. 22 points. I have Dual on my rack, but nowhere to play it. Okay, here comes the first bingo, and it uses both blanks. 77 points for my opponent. He's now established a 60-point lead. I'm not able to come back with a bingo. Just scanning down these floaters to make sure of that. So, is Lord good? It is. Let me see what this scores. 34 points, which is okay. I'm creating a new floater and a new hotspot at the top right, which I'd like to do. Since I'm behind, I'm leaving all of the floaters of Raunging available. But is Lord the best I can do? The rack leave isn't great. 14 minutes on my clock. I would like to get rid of the W and an A. What about placing my D above Ob? Just not seeing anything. I think I will go with Lord. So Lord for 34. Horrendous, really bad pick. I've got the I of Raunging and the U of Raunging, so great. Wow, look at that, just 9 points for my opponent, but that indicates to me he's kept a pretty good 5-letter set, and look at this, all 4 S's unplayed, so I could be on the receiving end of another bingo. What I can do in the meantime is play Quop for 21 points, which, if I avoid a vowel-heavy pickup, could leave me with a bingo-y rack. So Quop for 21. The alternative is to place my Q next to the I, but I can't get that to play twice. So I think this is... Well, what about playing Opaque? And I'm just thinking about the vowel consonant situation on my rack. So Opaque, 19 points. Slightly fewer points. But it is leaving a better rack leave. And it's opening the board up more, which, although I think my opponent's got a bingo-y 5-letter set, I think I need to keep the board open to maximise volatility, given that I'm behind. So, Opaque for 19. Great, finally a nice rack. I have Red Coat and Chordate. Look at this, row A is available for a 7-letter play ending with S, and all 4 S's are out there. And I don't have one of them. And I think that was another reason for playing Opaque. It turned over more tiles. It increased my chances of drawing an S. Now, let me look at the floaters towards the bottom of Raunging to see if I have a bingo. Can't see anything with the G. Wow, this looks a bingo-y set with the I, but I'm not seeing a bingo. I have Cartoned and Note Card. Great, and Note Card remains available. Not so great that my opponent bingos and doesn't use any of the S's. He's highly likely to have one now. But I have Note Card. And I think I'm going to play it. Given that I'm 100 points behind, I want a board with maximum volatility. I don't want to have a bingo and have nowhere to play it. However, am I missing a better spot? The board is already quite open. And does anything else go in front of Lob? Well, nothing on my rack. That's all that matters. I don't have anything ending in B. The R not available, so it's just the E. I'm going with Note Card. And pretty good. Steamily through an I and lay times. Wow. And Taily Sim. I have Taily Sim in row M. Fantastic. Hopefully that will remain available. But is my opponent going to slap down another bingo? Remaining tiles pretty bingo-y. Or has he drawn 3 U's and 4 I's? So, what if Taliesim is blocked? Do I have another bingo? Well, Masterly may be good, but it doesn't fit. Can't see anything with the D. The A not really available. Unless the play begins with E. Do I have a 7 with this rack? Well, I can't see one. The C not available. Nothing goes in front of 9. What about the O? Can't see anything there. Nothing with the R. Look at that. Opponent has blocked Taliesim. How annoying. But good play on his part. Have I really exhausted all of the bingo lanes? I think I have. Now, I could play Mayest here. It's 45 points, which is a lot. I'm turning over tiles to increase my chances of drawing an S. But this is... I am wrecking the rack. Can I wreck it less? 11 minutes on my clock. And have I overlooked something? The G, definitely not promising. What about column 15? I haven't really given much consideration to this D. It doesn't really help this rack. Nothing great running underneath, or certainly nothing as good as Mayest. So is there a play in row A better than Mayest? Something which ends SM, for example. Or SMA. "10 minutes on my clock, so I have time." I think my concern in playing Mayest is that I'm taking out a bingo lane and that my opponent can then take out this D and suddenly the board is tight. And also my concern about playing Mayest is that I'm burning an E and there are only 2 E's to come, and E's are pretty significant components of bingos. Having said that, Mayest is a lot of points. What about a play in row C, ending CY? Can't see one. Just wondering what the best I can do through this D, because if I play in column 15, I can score well and create a bingo lane in column 14. I'm going to play Mayest. I think there's a high probability my opponent has an S, and this is denying him that spot. Mayest for 45. Wow, pretty good. Fairly balanced. Do I have anything? Can't see anything through the O. Is the O actually available? It's not. Okay, there's only 6 tiles around the O. Now this spot to the right of opaque is slightly hot. D, R and S all go there. I have littles on my rack, and having gone out of my way to try and keep the board open, I now do have a bingo with nowhere to play it, which is annoying. This rack doesn't go well with the G. Opponent has created a new lane, but it's not super hot because an E doesn't go next to the W, nor does an S. Now, a solitary floating G isn't great. The E of berating is available. But that's no good for me. Now this N is available. I hadn't really considered that. I hope I hadn't missed something on a previous move. And maybe I should be playing here, even without a bingo. 13 tiles left. Let me check the remaining vowel situation. 10 out of 20. That's pretty even. How far am I behind? 50 points. Well, this is tricky because I'm unlikely to catch up a 50-point deficit without bingoing. And if I play in row K, I'm taking out 2 bingo lanes. However, I think I can score quite well. 33 points. And there is still the E of berating. And a small bingo lane in column 14. So Elint is pretty good in terms of score, given that I've only got 1-point tiles. But is this the right thing to do? 2 ends to come. I think it is. 33 points will take me to 317, 20 points behind my opponent. So I could still catch him without a bingo. So I'm playing Elint. What about playing Lintal instead and keeping just ST rather than LST? Let me see how that affects the scores. 6 minutes on my clock. 6 fewer points and a slightly better rack leave. Wow. I'm not going to go with this because if opponent has got a D, this is a super easy scoring spot, or with an S. I'm going back to Elint, and I'm going to hope I don't draw a ton of consonants. So Elint for 33. Pretty good. Pretty good. But do I have something? It's just the floating E of berating. So saltiers, saltires. I'm not sure there's anything with an E in last place. I've no longer got an E for going next to the R. I can't see anything beginning OD. Can't see anything ending with an A. Wow, opponent provides a new floater. 3 tiles in the bag. Does this assist? Do I have anything with this rack plus an L? Not seeing anything. What about this rack plus an O? 5 minutes on my clock. Not seeing anything, but what I can do now is I can leave these 2 lanes alone. Play off 2 tiles and hope to bingo, and a bingo should be enough. Well, I can stick an S on the end of opaque. $20 points. Is that the right thing to do? I think it is, because if I draw a U, I have Trisula in column 14, and opponent is likely to focus on L and O. And I'm not seeing anything else. I'm providing a spot for my T for opacus with no T's left. So this doesn't feel great. but there is some hope. "4 minutes on my clock. Is there a better play?" What about playing ST? Well, that doesn't assist. I've got nothing to hook it. Where else can my S play? I'm going with this. Opaques for 20. I don't draw the U. I do draw a vowel. So nothing ending A. I'm not expecting the L and the O to remain available. Opponent could just play JO, which would be pretty killing. But what if the L remains available? Do I have something? I don't think I do. So this game is leeching away from me. Now I'm just wondering if last go I should have played through this E to create a much better bingo lane. Opaques didn't create any bingo lane at all. Okay, 18 points for my opponent. So if I bingo now, I win. But do I have a bingo with this rack? G takes an I after it, so it would have to be a bingo ending an I. Can't see one. Can't see a bingo ending in A, so I don't think I've got a bingo, and if I don't have a bingo, I don't think I've got a win. I can't stick my opponent with the J. He's got J, O, and OW. And Joe and go. Still just wondering if there is a bingo here. Well, I'm not seeing it. So I can play Zit, which sets up rails. My I and my S can go next to it. Opponent may struggle to block that. Has my opponent got a super hot J place that I need to block? I don't think so. He can place his J above the A note card, but he can't get that to play twice. So I'm going with Zit. And this isn't going to be enough for me to win. So if he blocks a column 15 play, do I have an out? I thought I may have something through the A, but it's not coming to me. And I burnt the T for opacust. My opponent may just concentrate on playing his J. A play of J, O, and O would probably be enough, or would be enough. Just 31 points for rails. 2 minutes on my clock. I have Larrys and Chivs, or rails and Chivs, so I'm certainly going out with this rack. Nice play by my opponent, 17 points. Has he provided something for me? So I think Lira's is good. It may not be, but in any event it's less than rails. So rails for 31. And the final score, 384 to me, 398 to my opponent, a winning margin of 14 points. So well done to my opponent. Let's see what I missed. Wow, close game. So, opponent to go first. He plays Prax. No missed bingo here. I play moo for 24, and I think that's better than mooly for 27. I think EILR is 3 points better than ER. Opponent's rack. He has a bingo, doesn't play it, plays Fey. Retaining a blank, but look at this, he could have got 91 for finish, difficult one to see. My rack. I play Vezir for 42, and I could have played Visor for 2 fewer points and retaining the E, C12. How does that work? C12, because of more, 1 square higher than Vezir, keeping the E. I think very little between those. Opponent's rack. Bunch of bingos and plays 9. Okay. My rack. And I played Chiv, that looks fine. Opponent now with both blanks. And yeah, he just had the 1 last turn. And wow, again, does not bingo, despite having a ton to choose from. Plays Deb. What do I do here? I play Foy for 26, keeping lead. G3, I could have played Fady and Chivy. I don't like that, it's placing an A above this premium square, and the rack leave is inferior to that from Foy. Opponent's rack, he does now bingo, and he establishes a 60-point lead. I play Lord, I didn't like it, it wrecked the rack, but nothing obviously better. Opponent plays Oi, so he played Oi from this rack, keeping AEINR. I think that's pretty good. That is quite a hot 5-letter set. And now I toyed between playing Opaque and Quop, and went with Opaque because of the rack leave. CO, surely 2 points better than ACEO. And look at this, great rack for my opponent. Plays Berating, and all 4 S's still in the bag. Finally, I have a bingo with Note card, but look at this, H2. I could have played Decorate onto the E for 10 more points. However, how does the danger of allowing a column 1 play compare with sticking a D in the middle of column 15? I instinctively feel that the Note card play was better strategically, but I'm not sure if it's 10 points better. And the third bingo was Keratoid, which I didn't see, M2, which probably would have been my preferred choice since it doesn't open access to the triple word squares. However, I'm behind, and Keratoid really takes out quite a lot of bingo lanes, so I'm not sure on that one. Opponent's rack plays Tack, which was galling since I had Taily Sim ready to play. No bingo here, but K3, Liam, pretty good, keeping EST. Instead, wow, look at this, I played Mayest for 45 points. And I'm grimacing because I could have retained the E by playing Maced. And although the E is only worth 0.5, and this is a 3-point deficit, there's only 1 E in the bag, so I think, or only 2 E's in the bag from my perspective. So I think I'd have preferred Mayest, and I think I'd have possibly preferred Liam because EST is so good. And I'd have been keeping open row A. So, opponent's rack. He plays Wuds, and now I have Littles, and I couldn't see anywhere for it. Oh wow, look at this. There was a bingo, Stellite, H2. That is painful. That is a high probability bingo. Wow. And that would have taken me 15 points into the lead. Gosh, painful miss. Well done if you saw that. Instead I played a Lint for 33. Definitely an inferior play. Opponent plays Lounge. And I have this rack, which looks pretty good. but no bingo. And I played opaques. I'm really not convinced of that. A bingo would be enough for me to win the game, and opaques isn't opening a new bingo lane. Maybe just playing ES or LES would have been the play. L doesn't go that well with R and T, especially in the absence of an E. And I think if I'd played LES or SEL, then that would have created a good bingo lane, which may have worried my opponent. Instead, I made a play which didn't open any bingo lanes, yet I still needed a bingo to win. Opponent's rack. He plays Grail. And this is the end of the game. And I play Zit for 14, but I'm setting up a spot. However, J11 Taylor. Pretty good, making Opacus for 31. And then I play IL somewhere for a small amount. Probably not a huge amount between those plays since I am guaranteed an out. Let me just go back. This was my opponent's rack. He played Judo. And finally Rails for 31 was best. So very close game, just 14 points in it at the end. And a crucial missed bingo in Stellite, which could have changed the result. So all good stuff. An exciting game. I hope you enjoyed watching that, and I will see you next time. Stellite. Ah, how annoying.